I used to believe I had to follow a very traditional path. I chose the College of Business because it felt safe and predictable. For a long time, I convinced myself that being practical mattered more than being passionate. What I did not realize was that I was building a life that did not feel like mine. I remember sitting in on one of my business lectures when I first started when I was at Heidelberg, and I felt completely disconnected. Everyone around me seemed engaged, but I felt like I was watching someone else's life. I have never even wanted to go to class because I was realizing I wasn't even excited about learning for once. I was completing assignments without meaning, memorizing information without passion, and imagining myself in a career that I knew I did not want. That was the moment for the first time I admitted to myself that something needed to change. I went through a big change after my first semester and decided Heidelberg wasn't for me. Although this set my mom off as it was her alma mater, she was happy to have me home again to help out with stuff. With my mom working at the University of Findlay, I told myself I would just start classes there, and if I hated it, it didn't have to be a forever option. Around that time, I began experimenting with digital art again. I had always been creative growing up, but I never thought I could turn it into a future. I downloaded design apps out of curiosity and found myself staying up late drawing, illustrating, and creating small projects. It was the first time in a long time that I felt excited. I knew I wanted a major change before I started my next semester. Changing my major felt terrifying. I worried about falling behind, disappointing people, and starting over, but the fear of staying where I was felt even stronger. When I finally switched to graphic design, everything clicked. My classes challenged me in ways that felt meaningful. I started creating work I was proud of, and for the first time in college, I felt like I belonged. I even met my best friends through switching my majors, and even though I didn't meet them till my senior year, it really showed me that I had purpose in this department, and I loved being around people who are as devoted and dedicated to art as I am. I also had some incredible art professors who have guided me greatly and let my style show through. I also want to thank the university for helping me ease in and making me feel like I belonged, even though I was a transfer student and a commuter. This change taught me that choosing the right path is not about choosing the easiest one. It is about choosing the one that feels true. Graphic design pushes me creatively and emotionally, and it allows me to express myself in ways business never did. And don't get me wrong, I found so many amazing opportunities, and I'm still pursuing a marketing minor that I love. But I never realized that passion was not optional. It is necessary. Now I cannot imagine myself doing anything else. Graphic design gave me a direction and confidence. It allowed me to grow, express myself, and finally feel excited for the future. Switching my major was the best decision I have ever made, and this story is a reminder that it is never too late to choose the path that actually feels like yours. Now I cannot imagine doing anything else. Graphic design gave me a direction and confidence. It allowed me to grow, to express myself, and to finally feel excited about the future. Switching my majors was the best decision I have ever made, and this story is a reminder that it is never too late to choose the path that actually feels like your own. Sharing stories about ourselves is important because it allows us to connect with others in a way that facts or accomplishments alone cannot. A personal story reveals the emotions, uncertainties, and motivations that shape who we are. When we speak honestly about our journeys, whether they are smooth or difficult, we create space for authentic understanding. People around us are reminded that growth does not happen in a straight line, and hearing someone else's experience can make their own challenges feel less isolating. Storytelling becomes a bridge that helps us recognize shared values, fears, and hopes, even when our circumstances are different. Telling stories is also an act of self-affirmation. It gives us the opportunity to reflect on where we started, acknowledge our progress, and recognize the decisions that shaped us. When we explain why we made a change, took a risk, or choose a new direction, we reinforce our sense of agency. For others, these stories may serve as a guidepost or sources of encouragement. For ourselves, they become reminders of resilience, clarity, and the ability to grow. Sharing personal narratives empowers both the storyteller and the listener, creating a cycle of learning, empathy, and inspiration that can have lasting impact. Ultimately, creating this digital story helped me slow down and recognize the value of paying attention to my own experiences. College often moves so quickly that major decisions blur into routine, but this project gave me room to pause and understand what my choices actually mean for my future. More importantly, it reminded me that the moments that shape us are worth documenting and sharing. Stories do not have to be dramatic to matter. They simply have to be sincere. As I move forward in graphic design, I want to carry that lesson with me. The ability to communicate honestly, whether through visuals or narrative, is one of the most meaningful tools I have. This project encouraged me to trust my perspective, honor my growth, and keep telling stories that reflect who I am becoming.